because I believe the last thing he said was essentially what life is there amongst all the bias, that information that he has been made to believe.
Why don't you find out? You can be under our protection for a time to evaluate it for yourself versus what you've been told.
Diplomacy checks from Kianara and then from Len.
Not sure why I'm rolling, just translate.
Oh, hells yeah!
Well, it's for conveying the tone and all that, finding the words. You do get bonus off what Kinara says and his tone.
$31, natural 20.
Oh shit! So Kinara is basically at eye level with him almost?
Yep.
Kind of like kneeling on the ground, talking to him? Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, I'm at eye level with him, yeah.
Alright, let me turn this down because I just realized it might be a little loud. Is that good volume? Okay, good. Since he has kind of gone upright, he's kind of at your level now. You very cautiously and very calmly put out a single hand, kind of just resting on his shoulder. At first he kind of flinches, but your tone of words, even through translation, seem to convey you're not trying to be harmed. Your body language and all that is very calm, very passive. And as Len translate your words, he seems to calm down a little bit emotionally.
I'll glance over at Len to see if he can get any indication on how much of this is sinking in, if there's any reactions from this guy that I'm missing.
Len, sense motive, please. Is there anything you want to do, Sierra or Eric, while this is going on?
I'm just watching this go down.
Okay.
Not much I can really do, because I'm not the one doing diplomacy stuff as the bard.
I like how Cyrus is in the shade.
She's under a tree. Okay. Looking at his facial expressions, and because he doesn't have his face mask on or his hood, and because he's seemingly so inexperienced, you can almost kind of see that that maybe this might have been his very first raid up to the surface world. This is his first time actually experiencing it, you might think. So essentially he's having very vastly different points of information clashing. He's having legitimate kindness and care from some surface worlder, which you know for a fact does not really happen in the Underdark, versus what he had been told. And it's a crisis of faith almost. Like, he's still very much terrified of what's happening. Like, he still doesn't entirely trust, but you're seeing that there's a chink in the armor, as it were.
I guess then there's some effect. Okay. Have I seen Lynn or Len have a particular culinary preference? I'm trying to do some food profiling here.
I don't know. I think it's up to them, really. You've noticed that Len eats a lot. Well, actually, no. Len, well, yeah. You've noticed that their plates are very full comparatively to everybody else. Even Okrush doesn't get as much food as those two. Well, Okrush probably gets almost as much as Len, but yeah, it's impressive. Though, kind of using as a reference against other drow, you can't really say. Like you said, not many have really done a true study of the drow. What they have told is either quote-unquote survivors of the Underdark. Well, survivors of the actual survivors of the Underdark who go down from the surface and come back up, or those of the survivors of the society. The survivors of the society itself don't talk too often because of the bias against them. There's not much to tell because it's like, what can they tell? Who would listen?
Okay. Since it seems like you're not going to run at the moment, are you hungry?
After the translation, he shakes his head.
In a up and down or left or right?
He shakes his head instead of... shaking is no, nodding is yes.
Okay.
That's what I've always found.
Okay.
As this is going on, Kyome, the one behind, the drow behind you, is watching all this. Like, you really honestly believe? You honestly believe all this? There's a place for us. After all of the terrible tales that you must have heard.
Rumors are rumors. Reality is a different thing. And I, being a person who deals with realities and rumors, can tell you that there are places that will accept you for who you are, not what you are.
Tell that to the adventurers who carry scars, who carry slave brands. They know reality. It is interesting to note. Whatever you do with him, do what you will. Just never take him to the Underdark. The boy has much to learn. Yeah.
Simple fact of the matter is, you're probably both going to end up going to the same place.
You think I'm going to do the Nino? That's wonderful. Since he's not quite under the spell, he gets up. Says, "Now, if you excuse me,
I suggest you wait."
Actually, he probably would have kept his armor, so one less armor, because he would not have stripped it unless you forced him to.
No, I'll let him keep his armor.
Yeah. And why would I wait?
Well, if you like a map of where you could go, I'd suggest waiting until friends are done trying to convince this young lad of yours to not try to commit suicide or be dumb enough to go back to become a trader.
Oh, he's not I do not think he's going back. Like that one precious tale of that some surface worlders and the others like that. Who is it? Dritz? No, it is not as fanciful as that. Yeah, he begins walking off unless you stop him. Besides, what made you think I didn't take my own?
Fair point. Do you guys want him to stay here or not?
If he wants to leave, he's free to leave.
Well, there's your answer. You're free to go.
He was already walking. He was already walking off, and before he goes into the trees, he looks to Len. You.
Yeah.
You.
Me.
Your name.
Len Kara.
Like he kind of jolts to me. Kara.
And now you know what I said. Go to
that
Veneno.
sounds familiar. A guy unimportant. You have earned my name. Grafin Vonax. That way, if you find my body or my deeds, you will know of what came. You've earned that much. And with that, he vanishes into the shadows.
I will say, and you guys said I was morbid.
That was a bit descriptive. I'll give him that.
But now you have a young drow. Well, you have a drow raider amongst you who is currently not doing much, just probably having a mental war with himself.
Okay.
And then there was the fourth. Hello, sir.
So an hour later than I was supposed to get off, I am finally off.
Well, glad you are here. You missed some drow. Well, there's still a drow here. But yeah, drow ambush, which got promptly destroyed. Yes, you are free to do whatever you wish.
Okay.
So what have I missed for the past month and a half?
I will give you a brief synopsis. I'll give you a more detailed synopsis later, but essentially, after you left Uxkhal, you all decided to go towards the a quicker route, which took you past a ruin of called Tamlor. We'll go over that details later. Turns out there's something called a Dracolich there. Basically an undead dragon of some kind. It didn't spot you, and you decided we're going to need reinforcements for that, which is fine. And you traveled along the way unaccosted, running into nobody for a good while. And then, a couple days before the next independent city you would come across, you were attacked during the night by drow, and you have beaten them off. Two have survived, 2 were captured, and 1 has ran off, giving his name to Len since he defeated him, sort of, in a way.
In a way, what?
Well, not directly. You didn't directly defeat him. How's that?
There you go.
You didn't directly defeat. And you currently have a younger drow currently in chains because he tried running off. And after some diplomacy checks and some talking, he is currently having a, best I can describe it, religious crisis, kind of. A society crisis.
It's a social crisis.
Yeah, a social crisis of, after what he has been told, which you would know would know because your father has told you, essentially the brainwashing he has gone through of drow society of the surface dwellers want you dead, you will burn from the sun, you will be baked from the sun, etc. The surface dwellers only want you dead, either from jealousy or hatred, etc., etc., and through Kinara's own charisma and diplomacy has been showing that it is completely the opposite. That it isn't true. Or not necessarily true. And he's currently just sitting there. So yeah, that's what you miss so far.
I have to say, if I had dice, I would be like, look, I'm living proof that, it's not all true. Because, she looks closest to Drow as opposed to anyone. But that's all I got. With, being thrown in last minute. Because, well, work.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that will do it. Yes, does anyone wish to do anything else with this?
Were we camping or marching on?
This was in the middle of the night, camping.
Yeah.
What are we doing with the Drow boy?
Well, I'm up. I'm gonna go hunting.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'll just keep talking to the Drow boy, trying to, talk him off the ledge, quote unquote.
I thought he was pretty much talked out of killing himself.
Oh yeah, but I meant just talking to him in general. I mean, because unless we're letting him go at this point.
Well, no, we're not.
Oh yeah, the party has been kind of... The party extended the invitation of Veneno to the older drow, Relfin.
The older one who's actually an adult?
Well, even older. I couldn't really do the voice correctly because I was kind of going off the idea that Triss had found that dark common kind of sounds like Jamaican. And I can't do a good Jamaican voice right now. Especially one that's older. Yes, he sounded much older than that. Whereas...
Yeah, Lynn will just, fade into her drow accent and start talking to him, sitting down, eating food, giving him, a little bit of a ration, etc.
Actually, that is a really good idea to essentially your surface drow. So.
Yeah. Oh, Sarah, when you get a chance, we leveled.
No, yes.
Woohoo!
Current XP level is. Actually, I'll just type it.
We are at level 7, which is
I'm still driving, so.
Yeah. I'll just rank that in the overall, so we can look at it later. But yes. So by the sound of it, so Cyrus is going to go off hunting to, since the sleep was ruined, and want to at least get some. Well, because it's basically midnight that they attacked, so you're going to go back hunting in the middle of midnight. Okay.
Yeah. Gonna go hunting for breakfast meat. And then come back.
Breakfast, which is probably 5 hours from now.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Quasi.
I mean, if you want to get anything for Kiyomi to cook, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Moto, but I'm gonna tell Gar to stay here at base.
He kind of like growls about it. It's like he even kind of follows you a little bit at first, because it's like you get the mental connection, because I think he's intelligent enough for it that we just got attacked by drow. He's not letting you out of his sight.
Though
he wants to come along.
He will let you hunt. He's just not going to let you out of his sight. So you may roll that. Go ahead and do that. It's survival. Anyone else?
I'm gonna recast my use my last level 1 Magus to recast my Keep Watch, since that was wasted, and go back to watch duty, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to sleep.
Kilmei goes back to sleep.
Eventually, I will get some sleep, because I do at least want a short rest.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back to sleep until dawn. I will finish my rest.
And by the sound of it, Kalesh and Len are going to try to just merely talk to the drow.
Yeah, I talked to him for several hours and gave him some food and stuff.
Oh god.
Len,
My drowsiness.
I'm worried about you saying, "Oh
I
god."
could do now.
What can you do now?
I'll wait till combat starts again.
Oh god.
Len, do you have any particular thought as to why they would raid us over some other, or would it, or was it just a wrong place, wrong time?
The only thing I could think of is wrong place, wrong time, because, well, near as we've seen, we're the only ones out here, so by default, we are the only target.
Well, I mean,
That said, between the fact that this seemed to be planned specifically against us, it could just mean the guy took 20 minutes to observe our campsite and make a battle plan. And the way the guy reacted when I dropped my name, Commander Dude might have known who we were.
is there anything between you and Lynn that could invoke that level of ire?
Aside from the fact that we are the genetic scum of the earth, second only to, no, we might actually be ahead of normal elves, because, we are dirty half-breeds.
Technically 3/4 breeds.
Yeah, that's why we're the worst of the worst, because, we have, heathen human blood, we have heathen elf blood, and we have sullied the purity of the drow blood.
Oh no, and then there's, the stuff I've done in my past, whatever you were doing in those,
I wasn't talking...
invisible years.
I wasn't talking about our actions, I was talking purely on a genetic level.
Well, I'm just saying if they knew, there was a more of a plan versus just the color.
Well, I would think if it was that,
I mean, obviously they knew us, because the guy knew I was a half-breed, despite, tink, 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 tink.
Well...
Yeah. Which is more what I was
would think that you would have been hunted far before now.
Not really.
They had to know where we were.
Well, I do have a question. Is Lynn near us? Because I thought this is while you were talking to...
He was talking to me while you're talking to the other guy.
Oh. Oh, okay.
I rolled an 18, but my sheet is now, like, fragging out.
That's fine. That's fine.
But I rolled an 18 on my die.
It could be they heard we're in the area. We've interacted with enough people to send up flags. Because, I mean, I've been all over the continent at this point, since leaving home.
So, heirlooms from the Underdark? Nothing like that?
I've only got one heirloom, and that's Margot here, who's, as far as I know, not from the Underdark. I mean, it's an ancient weapon, so who knows where it's been. But, you been to the Underdark?
Yeah, Mark. Yeah. Not that I know of, Master.
No, she says no.
Actually, from what I understand, she actually... You can speak telepathically, but she can actually speak to others as well.
As I understand it, she can telepathically communicate to whoever she wants to, yes.
Yeah, so you all do actually hear that voice, unless Len has specified, no, don't.
So, I'm not crazy when she talks.
Yeah, Margot has
I'm not crazy!
Yeah, Margot has spoken every once in a while. But she's a pretty quiet blade. It's like, no, not from the Underdark, but of course, Master, we've never really like known where I come from. We're always very busy.
Yeah, well, the last guy who had you didn't exactly go into where he got you, so...
Oh, I know. I'm just saying we've never really been able to know.
I mean, I would suppose you know why they dumped us. Or have any theories, since you have your own knowledge stat and can make checks.
Am I the only one concerned about a soul being entrapped in a sword?
It's not entrapped in the sword. It actually has a soul. It is a living entity. Trapped in there would imply that, somebody did something nasty.
Yes, excuse you, I was forged with purpose and given intelligence. There are such things as that Kanana Kalesh.
Am I the only one sitting here imagining Len's like holding it with the lion head on the bottom upright and just kind of has it moving as it's talking?
Damn it, so.
Yes, I would imagine this, but I'm not there to see it.
So it's doing this like angry wobble as it's yelling at him.
I'll just be giving the sword the most peculiar look. Well, as far as I'm aware, this is the first time it's talked to anyone but you.
Well, you just said it's spoken before.
You probably heard it like maybe once or twice over the course of maybe like... It has been 2 months since you've all known each other, so maybe piped up every once in a while. But this is like the first like formal dialogue you've had with it.
Okay. Yeah, I would assume that due to things like Nomi.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, cool. Good to know.
As for why they came, Master, I have no idea. From my experiences, but what I can, I've never had interaction with Drow.
Yeah, so your guess is as good as ours then. Okay.
It probably even worse.
Well, considering they were told to patrol west, I'm sure we'll see a few more of them as we go, so... I guess we'll keep our ears open and see if anyone...
They also came from the north.
Actually, now I think about it, your father used to be a raider, yes?
Before he went to an adventuring life, yeah, I believe so.
Yes. Didn't he ever mention that it was sometimes being encrypted?
No, I don't recall him mentioning that specifically, but that does make a lot of sense.
I could have sworn... Okay, wait, no, I think I remember this. I actually saw it one day when you... Well, actually, wait, let me just make sure. When did Len find Margot?
Len got Margot when his master was killed by Talus.
Okay.
It's his master's sword.
By Grendel. Okay, so she would never have met him. Okay.
No, it was the guy before Grendel.
Okay, the guy before. So, would Margot have met Len's?
He's probably been home at least once, so they've probably met in passing.
Yes. But yeah, so Yes, you were actually having dinner with your family, and I noticed your father was going over some letters and what I was seeing wasn't matching what he was saying.
Yeah, so
And
as I thought, it's probably in code, in case of capture.
I'm pretty good with codes.
Well, have at it then.
Okay. I would like to roll linguistics to decode this thing.
go ahead.
Okay. I will blow a divine insight to give me a +2 because we haven't rest yet.
You are at a disadvantage because, well, between the two of you, you would be able to do it because it is random undercommon.
Okay.
Dang.
First roll not
Plus
so
don't die.
good. Oh wait, I get the +3. So 17. Okay, so sorry, 16. 16. I don't get the +3 yet. That's until we sleep.
You flip it around. You look at it through the moonlight. You kind of go over with Len what each word means. Like trying to find if there's like some semblance of a code, and damn it, there seems to be no code.
Maybe I should tackle this in the morning.
Yeah, sleep.
Like, admittedly, it is very suspicious because the paper that you're holding in your hand can fit within two hands. Is like it's almost a normal length paper, but there's only the parts of to agree for my to by order of the council of such and such. I can't remember exactly what the drow use, but like by the council of matrons and by personal decree of matron Fama, you are to by personal decree you are to patrol the west. You are to take a patrol and go west. Signed such and such. But there's a lot of space in between the signed by. Like there seems to be something there, but you're like, where is it?
Detect magic.
Go for it.
Will that be a read magic?
It's a cantrip. It just works.
You detect magic. It is magic. It does seem to give some kind of magic.
Well, I believe I now make a spellcraft check, because of the detect magic, to find out what the fuck is going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then possibly read magic.
Okay. It does seem to be some kind of magical ink at that part, at the parts down below, and you can pretty much figure out it is some kind of magical incantation, and you're able to just freely switch to read magic, just for free. I'll give it to you.
All right.
And as you read it, you're like, okay, starts coming up, and it comes in kind of... It actually comes up on your dark vision. It becomes in thermal vision. It picks up as Co- co- code phrase two. Code phrase 2, System 1.
That's helpful.
Well, if you guys bring it over to me, I can talk to the kid about it.
And just for your sake, Sarah, he actually isn't a kid. Well, by their culture, he's a kid, but he looks about your age, give or take. Maybe more.
Does the term code phrase and to System 1 mean anything to you?
Can I get another roll to see if that has any meaning to me?
You may.
Well, either way, I can't try anything until they come and talk to me.
24.
You'll forgive me if I accidentally retcon some things of your personal thing, but even the catfolk clans have always had their own sort of, every clan, every very small family, the powerful families, have their own sort of family code, as it were. Of those that were literate did have some kind of system where it was okay, if you're given a letter, you actually know how to encrypt it yourself by knowing what kind of phrases you are looking for.
Right.
So, for example, essentially, it's knowing the code in your own head that it's okay, I switch that, you take that there, okay, that's what they want us to do. And that's all you can get from that. Otherwise, you're not sure how it of how it does work. That's going to be just your own personal trying to figure out how the words and letters work together.
It sounds like we'll need family to decide what footing this is, unless again the morning can help me out with that.
Alright, well, Len takes the letter, walks over, drops it in Lynn's lap, goes, okay, get them to translate that, and walks away. And I walk away.
And now, Sarah, after a month of no RPGs, your turn.
Oh, God. So look at the paper, look at the boy, smirk. Well, not smirk, but smile. And be like, so, you seem to be having a cozy chat, yes? We're not all bad and scary that you thought.
Are you speaking in common or undercommon?
No, she's speaking in drow, whatever that is.
Yeah, okay, drow. That's speaking drow. He doesn't really seem to respond to that. You can tell he heard, but he's not saying anything.
Okay.
He's still looking down.
I'd like to continue this friendship, hopefully leave on good terms. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what the plan is right now, but I'm sure I can put in a good favor to let you be almost set on your way. Or you could possibly hang out with us for a while and see that we're not, the world isn't exactly what you thought, because, we're kind of the only people you know up here, as from what I can tell.
What can I do?
Well, you could help me understand this.
What do I... There's nothing...
Oh, there's plenty to do. You get a job, you earn money, you get a family, and you have a happily ever afterwards. Many of the male and female variety do that up here. I mean, look at me. She'll flip her hair.
That means nothing to me.
Okay, well, what did you do down there other than, hack and slash?
He thinks for a moment, presses his lips, kind of. He's trying. You see that he's trying to like mull something over.
I'm not going to judge. I mean, I'm one of the most judged people there are up here and down there. There's no judgment from me.
As you like to call hack and slash. That's it. I was what you might call a ranger.
Well, see, people do plenty of doing that. There's guilds for that, and you can earn money slaying, monsters that are hurting poor little village, or, there's plenty to do. I mean, that's what we do.
Why would I care about that? Why would anybody let the people of
Because the
here
people
would
are a lot
never
less
accept me?
Really? Do you think they accept me enough? And you're only a shade darker.
You are not full drow.
Ah, but I've known plenty of full drow in my time, and they are plenty accepted. It's all about the person.
Is that really true?
Hold on. Let me finish. It's all about the person here.
It's more of.
Let me finish. Before I lose my thought, it's more about the person as opposed to the race. Now, there are some that may be a little ignorant and short-sighted, like there is no matter where you go. But for the most part, people are good and are going to judge you and on your actions. Which is true. And as someone who's gone through all the classes and seen it all, she would know the best.
This is true. The only thing I have with that is meeting many drow.
We're rare.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's embellishing the many, but many is relative.
Okay, you're
okay. Many drow could be like 5.
I've met many, 3, 2 of them are family.
Okay, I'm just making sure if that's what you meant. I didn't want
just
you to
remember,
think...
in my backstory, I said she had met at least 2.
Okay, that's fine.
Not including family. So if you include family, she's met at least 4. He makes 5. No, 6, 7 because of his friend.
Oh, there's more than that.
Point is, many is relative. Anything more than 3 is many.
Yeah, just making sure for sheer, okay, let's not make... What do you mean by many? Okay, that makes sense. You're good.
Okay. And she'll just kind of look at him and smile.
At the many drow, he just kind of gets that, the face of, I'm called bullshit.
I mean, go ahead. I'm fine. There's Sir Reginald. Now this I'm bullshitting because I never named them. Well, I didn't think to name them in my backstory. I let them vague intentionally.
Those that you have found...
Sir Maxwell and Lady House. And...
Lady House?
Sir Penn and Sir Teller, and this is bullshit.
And there was one that had, a honey badger as, her familiar. No, I'm not standing in the kitchen, guys. Whatever do you mean? At least I didn't go with Krispy Kreme or Quaker.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
But he just looks at who of your family was the drow?
Yes, my family, yeah. I'm not including them in the count, though.
No, he said who of your family was the drow?
Oh, my father. He's quite accomplished. She'll swing around her, scythe in a fancy make to make it open again. He made this right here.
Yeah, knowing him, he makes a smithing mark.
Probably. Yeah. I would just say even the blade and the handle.
It's more. Does he recognize? He just stares at the blade.
Would this be an inside check to know to see if he recognizes it?
You may.
Okay.
Actually, yes, it's insight. Sorry, I'm about to say the wrong. I said the wrong thing.
I want to say my modifier see, it was detective bullshit. It was like 14. I rolled a 16, so 14 plus 16.
Wow, 30. He does not seem to know the name.
Oh.
Or it doesn't ring any. It's not causing a reaction out of him.
Someone remind me what our father's name was. I completely forgot.
It's something Kara. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was Bollock.
Bollock. Oh, I'm sure you've heard great tales of the great, wonderful, industrious, smithy Bollock. He's quite well known.
I'm sorry, but Bollock is just.
Some might say he
It's too well known.
flies with the crows.
Some might say. Na, 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 na. I'm actually curious what his name is.
I want to say it was Bullock. I think that was.
Oh, it's Balak. Or, I don't know. Balok.
Bollock.
Balak. Okay, Balak.
That is what I said, right?
Okay. Balak. No, it sounded like Bollock.
Oh, well, I said what I heard.
Yeah, but, yeah, whatever.
Same spelling, different
When you say-
pronunciation.
Yeah, Balak. When you say the name, it does seem to register a bit more. He blinks a bit. Balak? Kara?
Yeah, yes. You know, tall, dark, handsome.
The one who writes with
The one who writes what?
the Crow Reaper?
I guess that's one title for him. She did not know he was called that, but yes. Sure. We'll roll with that.
Yeah, like I told Tristan, what Alaric told you, the person that's in the thread, essentially, he told you and Len that he owed you a favor on part of because of your father, because if it wasn't for Balak, he wouldn't be back up on the surface, because he would either be a slave to the drow or worse. And so he owes you both a favor on his part because he's never been able to find him. Because
And
he keeps moving.
she'll look at her scythe. I was like, yeah, this was a favorite weapon of his.
And from Balak himself, he never spoke too much of his raids. The drow life, he didn't speak too much of it.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
He spoke what necessity he was, basically what to look out for, keep an eye out, but he never spoke of his
Can you
own
send
personal.
me a personal message of that name so I can remember it later?
What, his name? Or the
The Reaper of whatever it was.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. But yeah, see, this is news to you and to Len, since he's kind of... He is awake and nearby-ish enough.
She's just gonna roll with it, but I'm like, yeah, this was one of his favorite weapons. Spent many a time crafting it for me. Yeah, well, crafting it.
He's a myth.
Ah, but
I thought he was
a myth always starts somewhere, does it not? Myths all have stems to truth. You just have to find it. I might even one day be able to let you meet the myth if you help us out here. What
do you want?
I want you to tell me what this says. She'll just point to the paper. All of it. This little secret bit that's in, dark vision only, must be this tall, this dark to be able to read.
He takes it in his manacled hands. His eyes glow a bit, as you can tell of which is read magic.
Mm.
This is his house. For me, I cannot read it.
Which one of you was of that house?
He points to the corpse of the duelist that Len
Okay, she'll just look at her brother. I was like, really? This is why we don't kill everything.
1, he called me a filthy half-blood. 2, he tried to kill me first. It was self-defense.
You cut off his arms and his legs, and then you get the information out of him, and then you let him die.
Well, I honestly didn't think acmeing him with a flaming sphere would actually kill him, so...
Well, he had information with you?
Well, now it's your fault we don't have the information.
I'll see if I can find something during my morning prayers to see if I can help with that.
But as he's reading, he's like, this doesn't make sense, though.
Yeah, I was about
Oh, what does it say?
No, it's just the orders. They make no sense.
Elaborate.
It's to patrol west. We never went west.
What's in the west? That's more Sarah asking than Len.
Essentially, Hemi, on the in the west is Swadia. You're currently in Ronus territory, which is kind of in the middle.
Okay.
Although from where they came from, it could be anywhere, because it could be from west wherever they came from.
No. When I had the guy under suspicion, he told us they came from the north.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So they came from within Ronus.
Somewhere within, like, Ronus or somewhere in that general direction.
So looking at him, I was like, what do you think would be in the west for you to...
No, that's simply it. That's simply it. We never went west. We went south.
Ooh.
We came here. We never...
She'll look at her brother. I was like, I guess someone was gunning for us.
They usually are.
Yeah, but I mean, they had to know we were here first.
No, it wasn't for... Well, it was for someone, but they never said it was who.
Well, in his defense, we are literally the only people for like 50 miles.
Yeah. This is them speaking. Like...
So, gunning for us may or may not be accurate.
That's true.
We haven't seen people in days.
Shut up! I opened the door.
That's mostly because of us. Though it was very few even then.
Okay. So...
Maybe one or two caravans, but even then. And I thought,
So now we have just another mystery on our hands.
I do remember something. Something Tigre tried telling Renlin. Or to Martus. To Mart. As he kind of looks to the drow that was walking beside, that had tried to attack Kalesh and Kyome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about what now?
Yeah. What?
He's looking at a dead
shot in the
drow.
face twice.
He looks at the drow that was basically that kind of was his teammate, sort of, you might want to call it. The two that went after you, that gunned for you two.
Mm-hmm.
He indicated to make sure it was destroyed, that it was destroyed.
But what is it?
I do not know. That's simply it. He told him, not me.
Oh, it looks like we need to attempt to speak with him later.
I think we all need a fresh head on this.
Yes, but I think that's enough for now. Let's all get some rest.
What do you... You weren't carrying anything?
She'll look down at her inventory. Sarah has no idea.
We've got the,
No,
we've got
you...
that package we're supposed to be delivering.
Oh.
Package? To where? He says, what package to where?
I'm intentionally
Yes, and I'm
not
gonna let the
answering
party
it.
that knows the information.
Okay. He's... If you do not say, then I can't help. You want me to
Go
help?
ahead and tell,
If you want me to
him.
help,
It can't hurt anything.
if you want me to help, which you so clearly want, then tell me.
Yeah, just go ahead and tell him. It's not like it can hurt anything.
You say that now. It's, what was it? Ukresh?
Balforum.
Uforum?
Oh.
Yeah, you're coming from Ukal to Balforum.
Okay, yes.
Balforum is the dwarvish city.
So, yeah, it's going to Balforum.
Balforum? He kind of rolls it around in his undercuts. Balforum. Where is Balforum?
East of here. It's the next major dwarven settlement.
As soon as you say dwarf, he's like... And that's when you see the moment of realization in his eyes. Like, his eyes brighten up, for lack of a better word. Oh.
Oh, does that tell you something?
Oh. This package wouldn't happen to help for a disease, would it?
Quite possibly. We're not entirely sure what it is. The guy was very poetic in his description without actually being very helpful.
I cannot say it for certain then, but Balforum is... He looks down for a moment and says something. Oh, loaf, damn it. Damn you, loaf. Screw it all, screw loaf. The dwarf. My people were planning to take Balforum, or at least slowly. I remember hearing tale that many rangers went to Balforum and poisoned the miners there. Very deadly one of that the greatest of Drow alchemists come up with.
And which means we probably have the antidote, which means, yeah, they want us smoked very quickly before we undo all their nefarious plans.
Yeah.
Can't have no purple colonizers boiling up out of the ground.
No comment on that.
Black Panther joke.
That is all I know.
Well, that's more than we knew before.
Yeah. I say we're doing pretty good.
I've gone and done it. I am damned for life now. I can never go back.
Yeah, you'll get used to it. Food's better up here anyway.
I'll say we have the sun. The sun's pretty cool. In the moon.
The sun.
No,
The
no,
sun.
the sun is
The
not
sun.
cool.
But
The sun is the worst thing possible. Do not listen to her.
thank you.
In fact, you're gonna have to.
I'm sorry.
Like,
I forgot. You guys have that allergy.
we
have
yeah,
them.
you're gonna have to get some of
We
these.
have.
Allergy. It burns your skin. How do you live through it?
He just gestures to his full body ensemble.
I, on the other hand, happen to have other ways around that.
It burns but it burns your flesh. It burns through clothes. It burns through everything you own. Everything.
Mm-hmm. He caught the cold. I'm sorry.
With that, he just kind of just squats down and thinks about everything that's going on. He's like, well, but then
What do we?
Then I shall wait for my death up through the sun.
You take Dayquil at night.
She's crazy. That's the answer. She's crazy.
No point. I just figured you guys napped. Alright, I see I'm no longer needed. I'm going to bow out now.
Are you like out of the call, or?
No, I'm just going to mute myself for a minute.
Okay. So, by the sound of it, no one else say anything?
No, I think we're just going to take a nap.
You guys are taking a nap. I'll get full rest.
Yeah, I'm assuming I was asleep most of the time anyway. And I went hunting, and I only came back an hour before we had to get up.
Yes. You all sleep. Through the night, except for Len. The drow kind of gives Len, like, kind of looks at Len occasionally from time to time, and kind of just has this sense that you are watching him, sort of, but also just watching overall. He's like, and at some point, he eventually just kind of gives up and lays down on the dirt and covers up his head with his hood.
He thinks I'm watching him creeping the fuck out. I'm just sitting there reading my book. I'm not even looking at it.
Give me a vigil god.
You do notice him clasp his hands together, but then he kind of just like... Then he just kind of drops his like... May, may the death come swiftly. Morning comes. So yes, morning comes, and you all awaken, and you. Did you all just leave the bodies where they stood, or where they laid, or? I'm just curious what you did.
I'm leaving the drow cultural stuff to the drow.
Oh yeah, the people who know nothing about their own religion.
Well,
I guess
she'll look to the person her age and be like, do we burn them or bury them?
If they look uncertain as to what to do, can I make a religion check?
Well, she's asking the drow.
Well,
no,
regardless-
he knows his religion. It's just like, why waste the space?
Still burn it.
regardless,
Yes, they're
Cyrus is
pirate
gonna
is.
move them from
no.
the,
Why do
from the
anything?
campsite
For them?
anyway.
Why anything?
Well, we're gonna burn them, so they go back to the earth.
We don't go. They don't get anything. Well, except for Foem. Except for Foem, he would get something, but I do not know.
Okay, well, I'm burning them.
Cyrus is just gonna move the dead bodies away from the campsite and let people know that if they're burning bodies, to burn them away from the campsite.
I like the mood lighting.
Part of me headcanons this is how Len discovered his new trick, is disposing of the bodies.
Yes.
I just say let's
totally
burn 'em.
do it.
I was like,
Go ahead.
well, nobody sees
What
it
does
because they're
Len
all
do?
asleep. It's just, kind of like
Dead
4,
drow,
like 3, 4 a.m. He just goes out and does, and it's like, oh crap! Well, that's,
What trick is it?
I'm saving until we actually start combat.
Okay.
Oh, could I still
Owlbear shows up.
Are you able to message me about it at least, please? Like GM message me.
Could I
Yeah.
can I still make that religion check, or is this it? Or is the entire body thing when I was asleep?
By the sound of it, the body thing was during sleep.
Okay.
And from what the drow has said, has indicated they don't really do anything special with the body.
I like how you guys have this real meal and I just have my noodles.
You gotta be a savage on it.
So,
It's fine. I don't need one. Okay.
is Cyrus going to share the elk she hunted?
Yeah, I got it for the whole party.
Okay.
It's a large enough one for the entire party.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing in the morning.
Yeah, that's why I got it. I'll bring the food. You cook it. I feel like it's a fair enough trade.
But yeah, the light comes, you all awaken, and the drow is just facing the dirt. Still, his hood is up, he is clenching it with a deer light. He's like, okay, the sun is not burning my body, but I'm sure it will burn my eyes.
Just keep your eyes closed, you'll be fine.
He does actually know at least one he does seem to know one cultural thing, and flips you the bird.
I don't know the limit either. I just know there is one.
That seems to be one cultural thing that passes over.
Just to be fair, Greg, I'm telling you this now purely to be nice, because I'm technically ruining the fun by not being able to surprise the GM.
Oh boy.
Uh-huh.
I do have a
You
question.
took meta magic as a feat.
No, that's not
So
meta
really-
magic. That's just a class feature.
I do have a question.
That's a
Infinity
classic
but yeah,
cannon?
question.
God.
Infinity cannon?
No,
Okay. You don't need to tell me. I was just
it's not
wondering.
broken so much as just weird as fuck in a what the hell just happened kind of way.
Okay.
Yeah, Len's just like, huh. I can do that. Cool. Did Magic mention Grendel didn't mention this shit? Alright, so you rise, make breakfast, and so and the drow just keeps lying there. What am I supposed to do? Just stand here?
I'll hand him my
I say we take him with
traveling
us.
Well, that was the
Yeah.
plan.
I'll hand him my traveling cloak
Goes with the live.
so he can shade his eyes.
He already does have a cloak of some kind to do that. It's just that even then, like it's like having night vision on and running into daylight. It's that bad.
Yeah, he is permanent. As long as the sun is up, he is under the, I believe it's the daze or dazzled condition.
Yeah, days. Yeah, pretty much. Unless he has like essentially sunglasses on, like form-fitting sunglasses.
Which, like what I have on my mask. I can make him a set, just not with what we have with us.
She'll give him her hat.
Actually, I know. I know. He actually remembers. Wait. Actually, because that would make sense that the drow would have had some kind of countermeasures against it. Just Tigri is even more of an ass of a drow than others. You do find at least like a couple, what you can basically call shaded goggles.
They're called
like steampunk goggles.
They're called Sundark goggles.
Yeah, they're Sundark goggles. You do find at least 3.
I will make sure he has a set then.
He puts it on, and it's like, oh. It does a few swears in Undercommon that I don't know about, but it's like, oh, fuck.
The moment he puts his glasses on, I push a plate of food into his arms.
He looks at it, takes a smell, like. What do you even do for food?
That's meats. If you guys.
No, I mean, like, what do drow do for food?
I'm under the impression that they eat what they can find in the Underdark. So
rats.
No, they're actual creatures down there.
Yeah, there are creatures down here. It's just that they aren't as.
And there's flora and fauna, so they probably do a lot of mushrooms.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just now looking it up. Like,
mushrooms, roots, creatures.
Haggis, apparently. So he understands it at least enough to just give it a taste, and
if he's a ranger, that implies he's been up here before, so they probably have had to get food up here.
This is true. Yeah, he begrudgingly takes the food and chews down on it. Alright. So, he doesn't seem to be going anywhere, but by the sound of it, he will follow you all, because damn it, he's the closest thing to kindness he's gotten, and well, I don't know. You've kind of accidentally befriended him, sort of, or at least have his drow trust for what it's worth.
Kynan! Please don't stab me in 20 episodes.
Pretty much. He's willing to wait at least 5 episodes until he considers stabbing you.
That requires you to actually be armed in 5 episodes.
Hey, Kynan, here, let me punch you so you can stab me with a vestige later.
I mean, but don't forget, this is a drow we're talking about. Drow are sneaky as shit. Who's to say he can't find a weapon?
He's got a pointy stick.
I wish him more luck with the bullshit detectors within our party.
Oh no.
He's got a really pointy stick.
Shit, he's got a pointy stick! Alright, but going on. Alright. So, back on the trail, you are heading you head towards the next few days, or 2-3 days are spent heading towards the next independent city, which is...
Anybody need to stop in Faventia for a potty break? Speak now.
No, it's actually, you'll be heading to an independent city or of some independent settlement of some kind.
Several days
I just need to come
travel.
up with a
Upgrade
name.
my bullets.
Unless you all wanted to detour